Hello, and welcome back to Satisfactory with me, Jack Blade. We are going to do some fun stuff today, and it's going to break from the norm. If you watch episode 13, I ended that saying that this is going to be turned into a fuel power plant this episode, and that I would start that process on stream, which I have. So there's a 4-hour stream. You can go watch the VOD if you want to. But essentially, we are going to build a massive power plant here. I won't decorate it, I won't design anything special here yet, because this is going to be upgraded at a later date. And we're gonna turn this entire place into like a proper thing when we do a rocket fuel, the rocket fuel upgrade later on. For now, we're doing this. And this is what we've done so far. So just to go over it very quickly, because we literally did this in episode 13, so you guys, like, this is what you've already seen, just on a different setup. And that is the heavy oil refineries. I have 85 of them here. There's 4 groups of 20 and 1 with 5. There's 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 5. I have a little bit of a plastic setup over here, or plastic and rubber setup, where I'm using some of the stuff here just to have some kind of income of this, because it's like all of these builds are using a lot of it and I don't want to run out of fix-it coupons. So I've set up this little thing so that I have some plastic and some rubber coming in, and it's literally just bringing up water from the lake underneath and mixing that with the polymer resin so that it makes rubber. I have 2 over here and 2 over here, so it makes 40 each. Just a small thing. I'm gonna keep it there. I'm not gonna like change that for a long time at least. But after this is, like, since this is done, what we now want to do is set up the next few steps. And to explain exactly how this process is gonna go, we will make sure that we have the recipes sorted first. So which recipes are we using? Well, first of all, we are processing the oil with this recipe, the heavy oil residue recipe, which turns 30 oil into 40 oil residue, or heavy oil residue, and 20 polymer resin. And I am going to sink the polymer resin. I have no use for the polymer resin at all in this build. And to make it easy for myself, what I'm going to do is going to use I'm gonna go fuel, give me fuel. Here, I will be using residual fuel, or the residual fuel recipe for this, where I turn the heavy oil residue into fuel. And then from that, I will be turning the fuel. Let's see here if we can do this properly. Into turbo fuel. Ta-da! With this recipe, where I'm going to take 22.5 per like of the fuel. I'm gonna make compacted coal as well, and we're gonna make 18.75 per minute, like turbo fuel per machine. And in the end, by my calculations, we will be running, we will be making 1,875 turbo fuel per minute. And that is an exact 100 generators being run at 250% overclock. Each generator will provide 625 megawatts of energy, giving us 62,500 megawatts without the power augmenters bonus. Remember, we have 4 of them, so there's going to be a 40% bonus on top of all of this in the network, meaning we will have all the power we need to build all of Mournrock, run all the trains we need to, and like all that kind of stuff. So that's essentially what we're going to do. But once again, this isn't a like the full thing, because later we will disconnect We will stop using the fuel recipe, the residual fuel recipe. We will stop using this and start using the diluted blended fuel, or like diluted fuel recipe that you get in phase 4 when you get blenders. Then we will be using that instead of the mix we will be using over in Mournrock to make plastic, where we will be using also diluted fuel, but it's the packaged diluted fuel, and that is kind of what we want to like avoid. So with this very long intro, with this very long thing, we will just jump straight into it because I want this done in this episode. So we will be removing, because I have tested everything. Everything here is working at 100% efficiency. There is no inefficiencies at all in this entire system. It is 100, and it uses 100% of all the oil we get here, which comes from underneath here. As you can see, I have put this in. These are only decorative. I might want to remove that too. So there, that looks better. So all of this is only decorative. Or the whole floor holes are decorative. And then the what's it called? Pipes go along here and bring things in. That's a 150 pipe. Like, it brings 150. These are full 600 pipes that I split here to go to their separate sections, each dealing with 300 each. There's 2,400 plus 150, so 2,550 oil is being processed here and will provide 62,500 megawatts. And it will take around, I would like estimate, with all of the adjustments and stuff that I will have to make on the fly, I will guesstimate we are looking at maybe 10,000 megawatts out of all of this will be used to run this oil or fuel power plant. So out of those 62,500, about 10,000. So the net output for this power plant will be... Oh, damn. Someone blew up a big rocket there. Oh, scared me. Okay, I'm back. So the net output of the power plant will be 52,250 or 52,500, and then on top of that, whatever bonus the alien augmenters will be giving us at that point. Because remember, the other facility or other like power generation stuff already works. Something that I did notice, and this is something that I have to mention as well. As you can see, consumption with all of this running is pretty low still. The reason why that was low, and this is completely insane, I had to go and like look this up while the troubleshooting was running. I was like, no, something's wrong here. Apparently, the lights in Mournrock by themselves take about 4,000 megawatts. Yeah, I'm not joking. 4,000 megawatts. So we have turned the lights off in Mournrock until we get this up and running. Okay, yeah. Now let's move in and fix the next step here, which is turning all of this into fuel. As you can see, we have gotten somewhere. We now have our fuel refineries set up here. So there's 4 in each row, or 4 for each section, 8 total. Something that I have to do here is kind of like supplement some of these lines with this line over here. This is the small line from over here, to make sure that all of them are running the way they should. Because something to keep in mind here is that if we look at the numbers, we have 64, right? And we are, or rather if we twist this around, we're making 3,400 heavy oil residue divided by 64. Yeah, okay, those numbers are making no sense. I don't have them like numbers like in my head right now. I was calculating this last night. This morning. I don't even remember when I was calculating this. Either way, like that's how messed up my brain is right now, because I'm also doing like moving stuff. But what I do is I very simply set this up, I hold it, and I like with nudge or like lock it, and then I make sure that it is pointing straight up. So then what I will do is I will come and pull in that line from underneath here, and then I will go from up top for the rest of them. I will just make sure, as you can see, this is one in the middle. Boom. So it's going to be in the middle here too, and I'm just going to keep doing this. That's the last thing that I'm doing to make sure that we have all the, like, what's it called? Heavy oil residue that we need for all of the lines. It's like 7.05 something. Oh, that's wrong. 7.05 refineries or something like that we need per line. So it's not a lot on that 8th. It needs to be downclocked a lot, but it is really good that we get the get this up and running. So I have no problem doing a little bit of like finagling with the math and making sure things are like lined up proper. My biggest concern here is kind of like, how am I going to make sure that like everything runs smoothly? And like the only thing that I can say is be extra careful and make sure that you take all the steps required for fuel to run efficiently. And that means I need to make sure that these pipes are 100% saturated. At any given point, they are 100% full, they run at 100% efficiency, there's gonna be 0 problems over here. That is my only concern. So that's what we're going for. There we go, I'm just gonna replace the pipes. And I'll be back once we have set up and connected up like all our pipes in here. I'm gonna connect up the power and all that kind of stuff. So, not a weird process here. I don't really know how I'm going to solve like moving the fuel along here or the residual heavy oil residue. So we'll see, but I will figure it out. Be right back. Alright, here's the numbers. I actually looked them up. Here's the number. Each refinery needs to be set to 88.5417% to create exactly what we need. So if we look at the production number, it's 35.417. So if I open this up and I take 35.417, I think that was the number, right? Was that the number? 35.417. That is correct. And I take that and multiply that by 64. We got 2,266.668. Which is just slightly above what we were expecting to produce, which is perfectly fine. Like, I'm happy with these numbers, because it does give us exactly the numbers we need to produce what we ultimately want to produce later, like with the 18.75 per refinery that makes turbo fuel. So that's perfectly nice set up. And I also decided to do this like squiggly line thingy with this over here. Since everything is going to be completely saturated at any given time, there's not going to be any problems with it being like going zigzag like that up and down. It's going to work. I've also made sure to connect up, so there's going to be pumps connected to every line here. That first of all controls flow direction. What I will also do is I will put in a valve like on the middle of this, to make sure that I have, let's see, can I pick a valve from here? Yes. So if I grab a valve and I set that like so, it also prevents there to be it kind of like isolates the systems. So if I put that in, it means that this system, from that pump to that, and from that pump and down to the end here, is going to act as one isolated system. The only thing that I can do here to make this even more stable is kind of like go with this. I can probably remove here and connect this up. I have to like be a little bit finicky with how I set up the the what's it called? The line, but essentially make sure that I only have a single, like I just have a turn in a single pipe here, rather than a end in the junction. That is the only thing that I can do to make this even more stable, which I will also do. So I'm pulling out all the stops, making sure this works absolutely freaking stable. So yeah, I'll be back once everything's done. Just wanted to show you the numbers. We have it done. Fuel is running. Fuel is efficient. Fuel is running 100%. Da, 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 da. I am very, very happy with this. Each line now provides us 283.336 per minute. So it only requires a Mark 1 belt, which I'm very happy with. Now we've run up against one of the more time-consuming things we're going to be doing for this build, which is we need to bus in some coal and sulfur, and that is going to take a while. So what I'm going to do is use this marble, the Blueprint Designer Mark II, and I'm going to make a bus, and I'm going to use the one that, or a similar one, to the style, to the method that is used by Mystic from their save. I don't know why I'm gendering them. I don't know what their gender is. And then I will just do that and bus in. There's gonna be from a bunch of different places. We're gonna have some sulfur out here. There's gonna be some sulfur I'm gonna bring in from over here. The one we were planning on using over here for Nobelisks and stuff, we don't need that. I've changed the plans a little bit. There's sulfur over here. There's a few nodes. We're gonna grab that. Ultimately, we need 1,500 coal and 1,500 sulfur. So I need to make sure that I can fit that on the bus. So we're gonna see what we come up with. And I'm probably going to make like different modules for this. I'm gonna make one that is like a ground level module, like where do we bring in and out resources. And then I'm gonna have a like middle thing that I can attach to that. So it's like to bring things up and down like that. And then I'm gonna have a top module that is going to be where I can like plant or have like what's it called, lifts with floor holes and stuff like that. So we'll see what I come up with. Give me a second here and I'll be right back. Yeah, so here we go. We do have our bus lines like designed, I would say, with some new cool stuff here. Of course, these blueprints are going to be available, and let's show you exactly which blueprints those are. So we have this belt pipe bus bottom template, and then we have the vertical pipe template. That is literally just for extending it vertically. And then we have the top. This is where you go out to the horizontal template. And then we have this, which is a crossing template there. And the entire point of this is to add in some manual work as well. Or not, it's not a point, but it's something that you can do where when I'm not using a crossing direction, what I will do is just merge them up like this so that I can like close them off, and then I will just continue and continue along with it. And I might even like do something to close off the top here. We'll see. Either way, I need to get going, and I need to bus in 1,500 sulfur and 1,500 coal. And we do have some sulfur over there. There's another bit, like there's a bit of coal, I think, up at some point here as well. But yeah, there's a sulfur bit over there. And let's see, we do have some more sulfur. I remember I've marked it out. Like I have this planned, I just don't have it in front of me. But essentially, I will go on a little bit of a journey here and create the bus that brings in all the resources that we need. So essentially here, what I can do, or what I will do, is essentially grab the... Can I be smart now? It's too late in the evening for me to like do this kind of stuff here. So I can literally just like place either in like this, like manually, or what I can do is go to this. And for example, just say, hey, nope, I want to have another blueprint with just a bunch of belts. And I'm gonna like bring all my belts in and do this. So I can do this a little bit however I want to. I'm probably going to create a belt bus line that fits based on this, but it's going to look exactly like this. It's super basic. It's going to be using Mark IV belts and stuff like that. So it's not going to be anything special, anything like that I feel like I might actually need to show off or anything, but it's going to be available all the same on the drive. Either way, what we do here is we have an open line up here. The reason for why we have this is so that I can very easily go, hey, I want to be using, let's say I want to be using this port. Yeah, that port. So I can just go down here and I can say, give me that port, and it's going to come in from this direction, and I can just aim straight up. Okay, I placed that wrong just because of that. Damn it. So by going like this, I can just snap that to the conveyor hole because of the infinite lift that I can get. So if we fly down here, or fall as it were, as we see now, I can bring in anything I want here, and it's going to go all the way up there, and it's going to be bussed up. And I can use this with pipes as well, which is why I'm named it belt and pipe bus. So this is a template that you can apply anywhere to just, okay, I want to have a bus that I can build anywhere, and I can fit kind of whatever I want. Because I can go with this and just build this along all the way here, and then just place in like crossings or these to go down and pick stuff up, and just keep going and expand on it as needed. For this factory, I'm just going to be using it for the 1,500 sulfur and 1,500 coal right now, but in the future it might be useful to expand it to get more of those things and like whatever else we might need depending on what we do over in this area. So I will get going. Okay, I have just recorded, I recorded a 20-minute like segment to edit, and I realized after I had, or when I was gonna start recording this segment, that I do not have, or I did not have my mic on. So what I will be doing now is showing you and talking about what I did before. So first of all, I need to merge these fuel lines up so they turn into 4 fuel lines, because that matches up with 4 compacted coal lines that I have now completed. As you can see, all the way over here, I've picked up some sulfur over there, there's some sulfur there. There's 4 coal nodes underneath the platform over there that I'm bringing up and like under the pillar just to make them look good. And then we have this bus going over there and picking up another pure sulfur and a pure coal node to give us the numbers we need. And then I made a messy overflow balance system here that feeds these to make sure that they run at 100% efficiency. So I have basically taken that, and I'm sending the compacted coal that is on these 4 belts over here over to be ready to be used, just like the fuel, in our very nice turbo fuel generator setup. So this is a 1-to-1 ratio. It goes 18.75 turbo fuel per fully overclocked generator. So I basically made these blueprints. They look like so. So they are set up with everything. All I do is put down 25 per line here. So there's going to be 25 generators for the first line and 1 line of compact coal. And then I'm going to just multiply that by 4. And I've set this up. So all I'm going to do now is essentially connect up the first. Actually, what I'm going to do, because I want to be smart, Well, not smart, but it's rather like I don't want this to have a failure point somewhere in terms of head lift or anything like that. So just to make sure that I don't mess this up, I'm gonna put in a safety pump here. This is like a safety blanket for me. I don't like it shouldn't be needed, but there's a lot about the fluid mechanics that shouldn't be needed. That still is. So by doing so, I am going to... These aren't connected up to power yet, so I'm gonna fix that. I've also turned these off. They're all on standby. So the reason for that is that I want all of the generators in a line to be completely saturated before I turn them on. So what I'm going to do now, I'm gonna bring you back in pretty quickly again. I just need to connect this up. I just know that I'm going to cut the section so that you don't have to, like, I don't want to waste video time on you seeing me do what you've literally done 1,000 million times yourself. So when the power is hooked up, I will bring it back in. Alright, we have hooked up the first system, and it's going to take a while for it to be able to saturate properly the way it needs to, so I'm not gonna touch this. While I'm working on this, I will be, or rather while I'm working on the other 3 setups, that is going to be, like, as many, is going to be 25 of these blueprints being put down per section, so there's going to be another 75 that I'm going to fit here on the platform somehow. And then I will get back, I will bring you back in when that is done, because I don't have a lot of time. I have about half an hour to just smash through this, and then I need to edit this episode and get through. If I don't have time for it, we'll just finish it in the live stream. But until then, I will see. I'll bring you back in to see where I've gotten to in half an hour. Here we go. Look at this ocean of nuts. Like it's decent looking, but it's not what I normally do. And like I said, it's because we're doing a temporary setup. Like this entire place will likely be rebuilt when I'm doing the rocket fuel setup. But look at this. All of this is done. I think that all of these are even saturated. Nope, almost. They're getting there. So idle. All of this is idle, because it means that they are full. Nothing's moving. Nice. Is it the same over here? So that means 2 lines, because this is 1 line. So that ends with 1 line. And this is the end of that. It's a pretty long manifold. Let's see. And it is idle because it is full up. That means we can start 2 lines. Let's see, how is this looking? This is also idle. This is full up. That means that we have 2 setups here, fully saturated. We are looking at getting these saturated. I won't have time to do that now, so I'm probably going to start all of these up on stream. And if you like that, the stream is starting just after this episode goes live. So if you see this, I either am live or am going live soon. So I will see you guys over there when we start up all of our fuel generators. And I don't know why, but Fixmas doesn't seem to be working on this save for me. I have no idea why. It might be a bug. It might not just be on yet. But we'll see. We'll see. It might be that I can trigger it with like a command console command or anything, something like that. But the idea is that we spend this stream looking at Fixmas stuff. So either way, I will see you guys over in the stream. Have a great one, everyone. And I will see you later. Bye!